me, as we have 10 members in our house and 4 are corona positive. RT-PCR test and rest 6 are
Negative.
RT-PCR negative.
Right.
I have I have negative, but even then getting 99.6 fever from last 6 days. What is this? And my daughter's also getting fever from last 13 days. Her RT-PCR is negative. What is this?
Yeah. Thank you for posting such a, question, Swani Buriji. See, RT-PCR is negative does not mean that the patient is not having COVID. The sensitivity is to the tune of 65 to 67%. A lot of patients can have RT-PCR negative, still persist, can have symptoms because they get positive on the second or the third test. That is very highly likely. And some people, because of all the symptoms, even the CT or the CT scan pictures of COVID, but still they are turned out to be negative. That doesn't mean they don't have COVID. So if you have a 4 members in the family, those who are having RT-PCR positive, and then you are also getting a symptom, this is high likely that you're having the same kind of a disease, but definitely a mild form of a disease or a less viral load that it wasn't picked up in the RT-PCR test in the first go. It may get picked up in the second go as well, because what we are seeing in this today's world, that most of the families will not have a two different kind of infections going on. So it's going to be the same infection troubling most of the people. It's not sure that it's going to affect all the 100% of the people in the home, but yeah, at least 80% will get infected. That is how the chain is formed. So if the RT-PCR is negative, that doesn't mean you're not supposed to consult the doctor. You're supposed to consult the doctor. Then according to the investigations, you may need some kind of a treatment depending on the disease severity, the mild, the moderate, or the severe disease. Definitely she's not into the severe disease for sure, as per the symptoms. And then sometimes, the doctor may prescribe you to get an RT-PCR again done. So, and those who are not getting symptoms, I would request them to be get isolated from those other people. Because those are not getting symptoms, I'm not saying that they are not infected. They can be asymptomatic. So these people, all those people in the house should be quarantined, in the sense they shouldn't be going outside, because they can give infection to other and form a big chain. So one thing is, definitely all 10 of you has to be quarantined. Those who are need to get in touch with doctor, and those who are getting symptoms, they need to be separated from the other people in the house. Hello.
I think, Suhani ma'am, your question is, you get your answer what you want to know. Yes, she thanks doctor for your query
Thank
and
you.
your clarification regarding her query. We had one more question with us.
Yeah.
That is by Jayasrit Priyanka Bahal.
I'll read out the question. It's on my screen. I'll read out the question. Good evening, sir. We are 8 members in the family and 5 are positive. My father-in-law is diabetic as well as corona positive. He's admitted in the hospital in Mohali and is in ICU from last 8 days because of unstable oxygen level. So can you please tell about his recovery? So, ma'am, there are a few things, because he's an elderly gentleman with the diabetes in the background and requiring an oxygen. Definitely, he's either into a moderate or a severe disease. So with a high risk because he's a diabetic, so he falls into the high risk category. So the recovery, I would say there are 2 things of recovery. One is he is becoming clinically stable, no fever, no worsening in the lab parameters, and he's becoming stable. That is one recovery. And the second is requirement of oxygen. Sometimes what happens, patient starts becoming negative for the virus, or the virus load start declining, and patient is comfortable and feeling better with all his symptoms is going on. There is no fever, there's no there's no cough. He is getting more stable, but he requires an oxygen. So sometimes what happens, when a person gets infected, he gets a pneumonia, the oxygen requirement can persist for a long time. Long time means maybe a month or so. Even that patient needs to go back home with no symptoms, just an oxygen requirement when he's being discharged. And sometimes what happens in this disease, the scars are left in the lungs and making those lungs permanently, scarred or fibrosed. So sometimes these people also require oxygen. So there are 2 kinds of recoveries. One, the disease is gone, but some kind of sequel is left, right? That is one recovery. And the second is, obviously, the timing. If you ask me, there is no probable timing, ma'am. The worst come is that after the starting of symptoms, for the first next 12 days are the worst ones. After those 12 days, the deterioration is seen less. It's not that it is not being seen, but the deterioration is. So that is how the recovery. So nobody can be precise that the patient will get better in 5 days or 7 days or 10 days. It totally depends on person to person. Hello. Hello.
Answer, you are audible, sir.
Yeah. I hope anything else she wants to ask me. I think I have. Hello.
So next question is,
Your next question.
so if we are quarantined, what medication should be taken?
So quarantine for what? Suppose there are no symptoms and patient is not diseased, but he is likely because he was quarantined because he was in a contact. So in that case, medications a person is already on, whether a patient is a diabetic or hypertensive, whatever disease he was suffering from, you need to control that disease for sure. Have a good amount of water, a good diet, a good nutrition. Supplements like multivitamin and vitamin C can be taken. There is no harm in taking those drugs. These are just multivitamins or supplements. That is what you need. You're not supposed to take any kind of a medications which is not prescribed by the doctor. A lot of names you must have heard, that hydroxychloroquine and all those things. Please do not take those medications. They can cause some cardiac instabilities. So please get advice from the doctor before taking that. You can just take vitamin C, a good nutritious diet. You can take some multivitamin supplements, not a problem, and all your medications if they are taking some.
So one more question is there. If I have been in contact with somebody who came out to be a positive after 5-6 days of meeting.
Okay.
But it's been 16 days or so, and I haven't got any symptoms. So do I need to worry in such a case?
Yeah. So Nishanji, in the first few slides, we were speaking about some incubation period. So once you come in contact with someone, you are most likely to get a disease in the first 14 days. After 14 days, to get the disease is almost negligible, So that is the reason the quarantine by the government is also for 14 days. So it's been 16 days for you. So I don't think so any chances of worry right now. The next question is, one more question, sir. We have 4 people are living with a kid less than 2 years. So what all precautions we should take for him, as wearing a mask is not possible? I truly agree, ma'am. Wearing a mask 24/7 with a 2-year kid may not be possible at home. I agree. But then a person who is, especially the mother who is in very much contact with the person, with the kid, should wear the mask as much as possible. And I would say those 4 people, those who are, positive, or they shouldn't be in contact with the kid. So only a single person who wants to take care of that kid should be in a contact with kid, maybe in that single room or another separate room, and try to wear mask as much as possible. Do not give a mask to a less than 2 years old child, because 2 years old child will not be able to manage the mask, and it could be breathing issues for the child. So that is how only we can do it. Avoid the contacts with other people. More people contact means more issues. So with the mother, it's fine, because there is no other way out.
So one more question is there. Sir,
Yes.
it is a question from our president, Anshum Jindal.
Anji,
Sir, I got tested on 24th and my report come positive on 26th.
Okay.
From last 12 days, I have no fever. Should I still remain isolate?
So when does the fever started? 24th. Why was he got tested? And was there any symptoms he got tested for, or it is because some contact he was tested for?
Let me tell.
Anshum ji?
I got fever on 24th and got a throat pain and body ache. So as I visited Delhi for 5 days, so I got myself tested.
So it was on 24th you got the symptoms? Hello, Anshumji.
Symptoms on 24th.
The symptoms were on 24th.
Yeah.
Okay.
My symptoms were on 24th.
And the same day you gave the test.
Yeah.
So from 24th, so if we count, it's how many days now? It's been more than 14 days?
17 days today.
Hello.
16 days.
Yeah, so it's 16 days. So
16 days.
16 days, and you don't have any symptoms, right?
Now, yeah, now I am having no symptom.
So one thing is possible that you may be still positive if you get a repeat test done, which is not recommended actually to get it done. But after 14 days,
Okay.
transmitting an infection to another person when you also don't have any
Okay.
symptoms is less likely. Right. So usually, the report negative doesn't mean that you're infected. I mean, the report positive at 16 days does not tell you that you're infected. It may be just a virus, which is a dead virus, can got caught by this test and without symptoms. So after 14 days, you are very, very less likely to be infected to others. So I think probably no issues. And your quarantine sticker must have been, dated for 14 days only. So it's good enough for you. I don't think so you can be infected to others. But obviously, you still need to follow that distancing. That is a normal maneuver. It doesn't mean that you have got infected once and you can be, very freely going around, because antibodies, still we have a query in the world that whether we can get a second infection or not, nobody knows that, right? So we need to be careful again. But you should be fine enough. After 14 days, you can move around, no problems.
Thank you.
Sir,
Thank you, doctor. Thank you.
One more question is there, sir.
Yeah.
So question is, sir, we are getting 99.6 fever from last 6 days. RT-PCR negative. What kind of medication should we take? My doctor is giving doxycycline antibiotic only. From Sushant Puri.
Suhani Puri ji, right? Suhani Puri ji, see, 99.6 fever. With this figures, I will not say it's definitely COVID. Need few of the investigations to prove that it's not any bacterial infection or any other kind of fever going on. And doxycycline is one of the drugs which is, in the guidelines to be given to the mild form of disease. So I wouldn't say that doxycycline is the wrong choice. It's a fine choice, but definitely need to investigate what kind of fever you're having. Between 6 days, it doesn't mean that if in this era of pandemic, nobody can get anything else. So need some investigations to confirm, whether it's definitely going towards the virus side or not, anything else. So I would not say because this doesn't tell me that it's COVID or something else.
But he's saying the test has been done for bacterial infection that all comes negative.
See, if the all comes negative, then do we have the chest X-rays or a radiology done? Do we have the chest X-rays? Have we checked the saturation levels, the oxygen levels with which we do it with the finger pulse oximetry? There's a lot of few things to be, a fever is something a big term. From a, virus of COVID, from a tuberculosis to a malignancy, everybody can have fever, sir.
Sir, Sushant sir is saying the chest X-ray was fine. Sushant ji, can you please unmute yourself?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Ji. Good evening, ma'am.
Sir, as I told you that we have 10 members in our house, 4 were
Okay.
positive,
Okay.
and my daughter, and me, and all the 6 members are negative. But
Okay.
my daughter and me are getting fever from I'm getting from last 6 days, and she's getting from last 13 days. Our fever in the morning is normal, and after 10 o'clock, we got fever around 99.6. All of my malarial, dengue, everything has been done. All are negative. My chest X-ray is okay, but doctor is giving doxycycline, and even then I'm getting fever 99.6.
Sometimes the fever, see, ma'am, you got a family of 4 people positive, then definitely makes you more prone to get a COVID rather than anything else.
So,
Right.
sir, till what I should wait? After 14 days, I should wait.
No, ma'am, it's been how many days that you got blood tested for your markers done? How many days back?
Sir, 7 days back.
I think it's time to get, although your symptoms are mild, are you having any kind of breathlessness?
No, nothing.
Anything else except this fever and all?
Nothing.
So only thing is, what? So fever is still not going, that means still the virus is there.
Okay.
So if the virus is there, we need to see the lab parameters, whether those markers are increasing or not.
Should I go for again RT-PCR test?
Ma'am, RT-PCR alone will not solve the purpose. We need few of the blood test batteries and maybe a repeat X-ray also for you.
Okay.
because depending on that, and the other thing which we need to measure is the oxygen levels.
They are fine. Oxygen level is fine.
How much it is saying?
98, 99.
That's perfectly fine. So still you still into the mild category of disease, right? So getting a blood test will not change much because you still fit into the mild category of disease, and you may need to prolong few of the medications, and the fever may take even 7-8 days to go.
Okay, may after now means after 14 days it will go.
No, not exactly 14 days. I would say from the day of symptoms started, it takes 7 to 10 days sometimes the fever to go on.
But my daughter, she's getting from last 13 days.
And then she needs to be, because she's how old she is?
9 years.
9 years. Just to visit a pediatrician for her, sir.
The pediatrician was saying that 15 to 20 days it will take. Because
okay, maybe in children it is so, because being not a pediatrician, I'm not much aware about the disease scenario in children, but we have seen from 7 to 10 days the fever persists, even of aggressive treatment as well. This is we have seen that. So what the must thing is that you shouldn't be having any other symptoms. Your oxygen level should be fine. So these things will only raise the alarm, nothing else.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Take care. So the next question is, I think we have Mr. Jason.
So one question is,
please.
so there is one question from JCRT Priyanka Bahal to everyone, that I'm asymptomatic corona positive, no fever, no cough, and I'm still taking medicines like azithromycin, vitamin C, zinc, B complex from last 5 days. So how long I should take? And my age was 35 and I was tested when I should again go for test.
See, Priyanka ji, if you are asymptomatic, then the azithromycin for 5 days and zinc and vitamin C from 7 to 10 days is good enough. B complex you can continue for maybe 2 to 3 weeks. There is no harm in that. If you're asymptomatic, you need to be quarantined for 14 days. And after 14 days, you can move around. Because 14 days quarantine period is must by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. So that's a criteria we should we need to follow that. And it's good that you're asymptomatic. Follow your good diet, drink an adequate amount of water, do your regular routine exercises you can do at home. And I don't think so you need azithromycin more than 5 days. I don't think so. You need to continue for more than 5 days for your azithromycin antibiotics.
So one question is more that, sir, please explain the accuracy of HRCT test.
Okay, so HRCT test will tell us a lot more about this disease. Sometimes, as I told you, we have been seeing a lot of patients who have been coming from another states, whether it's Himachal or Haryana or some part of the Punjab. They used to be negative in two to three occasions, but their HRCT scans are so particular that we couldn't, after looking at their scans, we were still very confident to keep them in that suspected areas and get a repeat testing done, and then they turn out to be positive as well. So CT gives us a lot of picture, whether you can easily rule out things. If it is normal, definitely you can't rule out then. And the second thing is you can tell us, the CT can tell us the amount of involvement of the lungs are, how it's going to be in the near future. So it's a very good, I would say, a tool to see the content of the disease, the amount of lungs are involved, and even somehow it will tell us whether it's COVID or something else. At least it can tell us the probability. It cannot be the diagnosis of choice because that is a swab test. We cannot confirm it, but we can make sure out of it.
So he's also asking what it is better, HRCT or PT-PCR test?
So there are two different things. RT-PCR is going to tell you whether it's positive or negative. It's a microbiological test. HRCT is going to tell us about the part of the lungs, how much the lungs are involved, whether it is showing a more, the picture of some bacterial infection or a tuberculosis or a COVID-19 infection. So these are two things. RT-PCR can give you much better guide rather than confirming you. If RT-PCR is very much, goes in favor of COVID, you can get a repeat tested maybe 2 times or 3 times. So that is how it guides us rather than confirming the disease. And RT-PCR, something is going to confirm the disease. Although it has its own, pros and cons, that is not 100% test. Sometimes you need a repeated test, and sometimes the person who has done the test has not done so well that the report is such precisely done. So that is going to be the part and parcel of the investigations all the time.
So one more question is there, sir. If anyone wants to go outstation for work in own vehicle, wearing mask, sanitizer, and taking all other precautions, do you recommend any medication that the person should take before going outstation as a precaution?
Sir, outstation, if anyone wants to go outstation for work in its own vehicle other than mask, sanitizer, okay. See, if you are traveling with, depends upon how many people you are traveling. If everyone who's traveling, you are confident they're not even asymptomatic, no contact, then it's okay. You can wear your mask and you can take your sanitizer. It's a good habit. Do not sanitize your car with those 70% alcohol. That could be, injurious because we have lighters and sparks in the car sometimes. So don't use sanitizers when the car is switched on. It's better to use when the car is switched off. And the second thing is when you're going outside, it depends where you are going. So better carry your food and water with you in the car rather than going out in the restaurants. And the second thing, where the place you are going or the people you're going to meet, that purely depends on that. But still, if you maintain that adequate distance with the people you're meeting, wearing a proper mask, and not touching your face, giving your hand a good sanitization or washing of hands, I think you can travel.
Sir, one question from Raghunath, sir, that RT-PCR versus antigen test, sir.
Yeah. So again, it's it's all the number game. RT-PCR is much more precise, and antigen is not that. Antigen is more specific. Antigen is not going to give you anything else. If it is positive, it means it's positive, but the sensitivity is only to the tune of 35 to 40%. So 60% people can be missed. And if you talk about the RT-PCR test, its sensitivity is around 67 to 70%, to the tune of 67 to 70%. So chances of getting missed is less in RT-PCR as compared to the antigen.
Thank you so much, sir. One more question from our JC Briyad Mittal, sir. Is that, sir, in the last 1 week, I have seen many cases who are having fever, but their corona tests are coming negative. Also, doctors hesitate to treat such patients who are having fever. What medication should such patient take?
In the last 1 week, I've seen many cases who are having fever, but their corona test came negative. Okay, so as I told you, it's just again a number part of thing. Last 1 week, if you've seen many people getting fever, because in today's world where the most common fevers are related to COVID-19, you can still keep them as suspected cases, which a doctor will definitely. Doctors are worried to see, because I would say I just told you the death rate in normal population around the 2%. And if I'll tell you the death rate among doctors is to the tune of 15.6%. So around 350 doctors in India has lost their lives. So probably that could be the reason they're worried. So you need to go to the place where the doctors are more, the clinics are not so well equipped. The big hospitals, where we wear PPEs and we have a separate places for those suspected patients, a little more safer. So, how to treat those patients? Definitely without investigations. I told you cannot treat somebody who are a suspect of COVID. We don't know the extent of disease, because the fever doesn't define that if it's a fever is low grade, it's a mild or a moderate disease or a severe disease. So, yeah, it is a tough situation when, a lot of places you cannot visit, get yourself treated. Only few places you can get an appropriate arrangements done. It's a difficult times for everyone. I can understand the questions and I can understand the worries, but cannot home treat these people because, how it's going to progress, nobody knows. And it can progress in any age group and in any person. So some sort of investigation is definitely required. And getting a negative test, I'll tell you one thing, because from the faraway centers, I have been seeing a lot of patients who are negative. They turn out to be positive, and the question comes from the family that, sir, ये तो हमने कराया था negative था, दोबारा positive कैसे हो गया? Sometimes I couldn't answer them कि positive कैसे हो गया means, because he has a picture, he has a clinical picture, he has a CT scan picture, so he has to be turned out positive. So, this is definitely a difficult question to answer, but need to be assessed by a doctor before getting a treatment done. unnecessarily with anyone. I cannot say you take a zithromycin or a hydroxychloroquine or a doxycycline, because these drugs are not to be given, just on a verbal basis until unless you see the pain, the phenotype or the kind of patient you are treating. It's tough.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving you valuable time, sir. Over to Anshum, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Mohit, sir. Sir, your session was really great, and I think it's really beneficial for the members present out here. All the queries were answered very clearly and with full description. And I welcome and recognize the presence of our mentor of our chapter, one of mentor of our chapter, JCI Senator Subhadesh Mittal, sir. Sir, he's past president of JCI Ambala, and I request him to kindly give his words of wisdom to our chapter and for this session. Sir,
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President, Mr. Jesse Anshum Jindal. It was a very informative session. The way the learned doctor has conducted this video session, and I think that we all have benefited from this. And this is a noble cause that you have started your JC Week from this project, because this is the need of the hour to know more about the COVID. And I think that as you have planned so much of projects in this week and all digital projects in this week, I wish you a very great success in your this JC Week celebrations. Thank you, friends.
thank you, Uncle. Thank you so much for your words. And we are also having one of our past president. If you want to do any query and want to say anything, JC Vishal Kaushik, sir. Sir, you are most welcome. Vishal, sir. Might be he's not connected. So moving forward, for vote of thanks, I invite JC Anuj Bansal, project director, to kindly extend vote of thanks for today's event.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah,
you are
good evening,
audible.
everyone. I, JC Anil Bansal, along with my team members, JC Mukul Jain and JC Vishal Gupta, would like to thank all of you for joining in this meeting today. I would like to thank the chief guest of today's event, past President JCI Ambala, JC Jagdeep Singh Sodhi, for taking his time out and gracing this event. I would like to thank special invitee of the event, PPP Anshu Saraf, EVP Area A Zone 1, for joining with us today and give a big boost to our spirits in this first project of JC Week. I would like to thank this faculty of today's event, Dr. Mohit Kaushal, for such an elaborate